You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
for?
he's going crazy. Except for day one. We love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
We heard from Trump yesterday, nice Saturday. He makes news all the time. He posted on Truth Social, I think we have it here. I'm going to try to read the whole thing. He who saves his country does not violate any law.
Fears that Donald Trump would see himself as above the law were certainly bolstered over the weekend when he posted a quote attributed to the French dictator Napoleon over the weekend. It's quite a thing when the president's looking at such a little guy. But here's the quote. We'll show it to you right now. Donald Trump there. He who saves his country does not violate any law. So we see where this is going. The quote is a version of a phrase attributed to Napoleon. Translates to who saves his country violates no law. Napoleon declared himself French emperor in the early 1800s, installed a military dictatorship. Does that sound familiar? Napoleon has a similar quote here, who saves a nation violates no law, is said by actor Rod Steiger, playing Napoleon in the 1970 movie Waterloo. So getting into the mind of Donald Trump, is anything original? It doesn't seem so, right? He just kind of reaches back into history and co-opts it for himself. After Trump himself posted the quote, the official White House account reposted it with Trump's presidential portrait attached. Oh my, is that the mugshot or the official portrait?
That's the mugshot.
Then it's the mugshot, right? And that is what they're going with. This is where we are, America. Look at your life. Trump doubled down again in response to a judge ruling that the Trump administration had defied a court order to release billions of dollars in grant money. A conservative posted an image of the quote emblazoned on top of Napoleon Bonaparte on horseback, and Trump reposted that. Just pretty incredible. Post only amplified fears that Trump sees himself as being above the law. Former Vice President Mike Pence posted an article he wrote in 2010 about the importance of adhering to the Constitution in response. I don't know that I want to hear much from Mike Pence anymore. Ironically, one of the things Napoleon did right was expand and improve France's government-run educational system, which Donald Trump is promising to dismantle. Of course, he got support from the usual suspects, including his partner in crime, co-president Elon Musk, who, quote, tweeted him with a bunch of American flags. These two and their bromance, it's just on and on for now. Right-wing activist Jack Posobiec posted this: America will be saved. What must be done will be done. In an interview over the weekend, former RNC chair Reince Preibus, who was Trump's first chief of staff in his first term, downplayed the president's words. Remember, we're not really supposed to take him at face value. It's not what we're doing here. Listen to this.
What does that mean?
But is it? It's catnip for the media. It's entertainment for Trump. It's a distraction.
He's the president of the United States.
Listen,
this is a statement from the president of the United States.
I have lived through this.
Yes, you have.
In good times and bad times, the president enjoys taking a grenade out on a Saturday afternoon, throwing it on the floor, and watching everybody react. Now, could it be a distraction? Could it be a diversion? Could it be just pure entertainment? This is what the president
So he's not saying the president's
and there's
above the
no
law.
downside.
When will that stop? You know, Cenk, seeing and listening to Reince Preibus there, I think of him, picture him on the Titanic in the hours as the massive ship was in trouble. People were panicking, saying, we've got to do something now. He was the one saying, it's good, just relax. There's nothing to see here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna explain the whole trolling thing because it actually has a huge part in how they conduct their affairs, and it has an enormously nefarious component that people are not aware of that I want to explain. So first, a whole bunch of clarifications. My producer's telling me that actually is his official White House photo, that not his mugshot that we showed you. It looks exactly like his mugshot, and his mugshot is featured in the White House. So, and I thought I saw that did that related to this story, as in, haha, we'll break any laws we like. But hey, that one apparently is his official photo. All right, now second clarification is when he reposted the Napoleon quote on Truth Social, it's important that you realize that underneath it, it said, Judge rules Trump administration defying court order to release billion in grants. So he's saying that in relationship to, I'm not listening to the judges. But remember the quote, he who saves his country does not violate any law. What that means is if that person violates the law, it's okay because he's saving the country. So that's why Napoleon said it. It's okay, it looks like I'm a dictator and I'm violating all the laws, but I saved the country, so it doesn't count. That's so, and that's what he's saying here. Oh, right, I am saving the country, so I can break any law I like. I don't have to listen to the courts. So if you're a right winger, which apparently Elon Musk is not, Jack Posobiec isn't, tons and tons and tons of people who follow Donald Trump are not actually conservatives or right wingers. They're authoritarian. I could add a lot of adjectives there, but they want an authoritarian form of government, and this is part of how they test it out. So I'm going to get to that in a sec. But if you say, well, it's the American thing to do, and here I want to go back to Posobiec's tweet because there's two things that I want to note here. Elon Musk did all the flags. Then Posobiec says, America will be saved, what must be done will be done. So if you're making excuses for them and you're saying, well, they don't mean that they're gonna violate it. Oh, then why is what needs to be done will be done? Why have the quote in the first place? Why have it as a reference to Napoleon who used it for dictatorship? Specifically, that quote was to justify dictatorship, and then Trump puts Napoleon's picture and the quote. So you can make 1,000 excuses, and if you're like in a cult in either direction, you will. Joe Biden's young and dynamic, and Donald Trump saying over and over again, I intend to break the law, and I intend not to follow court orders. Oh, ha, 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 I'm trolling, you're getting hyped up for no reason. Oh, look, there's me ignoring court orders, actually doing the thing that you're claiming I'm trolling about. But who cares? Ha, 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 ha. Dictatorship is so much fun. Authoritarian government is so much fun. Ha, 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 ha. And in the Posobiec tweet, if you notice, Elon Musk responds and says, yes. So yes to breaking the laws, yes to trashing the American system of government, yes to ignoring the courts. So if you're a right winger and you say, oh, what's the big deal, man? We got to save the country. Yeah, Elon, our donors are great. Source, terrible donor. Terrible donor. Elon Musk, what a lovely angel donor. Give him access to all the IRS information and the Treasury information. Let him rob us blind. I mean, I'm sure he has our best interest in mind. He's not in a competition with Jeff Bezos to see who's the richest man. He would never do anything in his own behalf. Said the same exact quotes I heard from Democrats about George Soros and their good billionaires. So if you say, well, what's the big deal about ignoring the courts? Okay, Democratic president is in charge. And he goes, oh, you want your Second Amendment rights? Well, I did an executive order. Well, the courts ruled it unconstitutional because of the Second Amendment. Who cares? I don't have to listen to the courts. Now I'm rounding up all your guns. Now I'm rounding you up. Who cares? I don't have to listen to the courts. You said that he who saves his country does not violate any law. Well, how did the Democrats save the country? You think they're gonna tell you? You think that they're gonna be like, you're gonna prove the case to you? Has Donald Trump proved the case that he saved the country? No, the politician just says it. I saved the country, so I don't have to listen to the courts, and I don't have to follow the Constitution, and I don't have to follow the law. So what is he doing with this trolling? And Sharon, this is the most important part. So Reince Preibus's claim is, oh, he's just throwing in a live hand grenade. By the way, it sounds like a really responsible thing to do, even if it's a metaphor for the president of the United States. Like he's a child and he's playing around with hand grenades. And he's like, here, I rolled a hand grenade. I might not follow any of the laws. That's your fun trolling? You think that's like what the commander in chief should do? Okay, in the best case scenario, Reince Preibus is right, and our president is a juvenile wannabe dictator buffoon. So, okay, great, congratulations on that one. But the reality is, no, they're A/B testing authoritarianism. They're going out there and doing it in a way where they have plausible deniability. Because the minute they say trolling, I know MAGA, I know it's upsides and I know it's downsides. The minute you say trolling, 90% of MAGA goes to, oh yeah, man, it wasn't a big deal, man. We're just trolling. It's no big deal. He didn't do it. It's no big deal. You guys are getting all hyper. TDS. You all have term arrangements there. You're so hysterical. We're just trolling, right? First of all, don't troll if you're the president. You want to get into office. You want to be in social media. You want to be on X. You want to have fun. Troll all day and night. I don't care, right? If you're the president, your words mean something. But second of all, it's not. It's done so that they can gauge the reaction. And if the reaction is, oh, goddamn right, of course, who cares about the courts? Don't listen to any stupid courts or the stupid rule of law. We already defunded the police for white collar crime at the SEC, CFPB, all the different agencies that were guarding the hen house. Now the Wall Street bankers can go nuts. The donors are in charge 100%. Elon Musk is running domestic policy. Miriam Adelson is running foreign policy. We fired all the cops on the beat. And we're testing to see if we have to follow the courts or any laws at all. So if MAGA and the people who voted for him, including the independents, go, oh yeah, who cares about the Constitution? Who care about the courts? Then they're gonna go, oh, green light. Okay, then go ahead, do it, ignore them. If everyone, including portions of MAGA, slam on the brakes and go, dude, we elected you to get control over the border and inflation and stop the annoying language policing of the left. We didn't elect you to shred the frickin' Constitution and say you're not gonna follow any of the laws. Then they slam on the brakes, potentially, hopefully, and then they go, oh, we were just trolling, right? So trolling is done, in his case, for plausible deniability as he tests how far he can go. So from my point of view, I've now told you guys many times where I go, okay, I agree around the edges, or I agree that that's anti-war. I'd love to cut the Pentagon. And the left has screamed at me in unison, no, don't ever agree with them. No, we just yelled, et cetera, at them. So now I'm telling you, I was fair on all those things because being fair, being objective, being truthful is the right way to go no matter what. Now I'm telling you with honesty and truth and all of those things, ignoring the courts is a disaster. It is actually a constitutional crisis and will lead to absolute ruin. And I don't care if it's a Republican in charge or a Democrat in charge, or it's, oh no, it's okay, it's my cult leader. So we can trust him to shred the Constitution. No way, terrible idea, the worst idea. And by the way, if you're a MAGA, way to prove the Democrats right. They said you guys were gonna do an authoritarian takeover. If you, like Jack Posobiec and Elon Musk, are now cheering for ignoring the courts and doing an authoritarian takeover, turns out Kamala Harris was right, Joe Biden was right, Nancy Pelosi was right, every anchor on mainstream media was right, every left-wing host you know and hate was right. All of them were right. You guys actually just wanted to have power and you hated our Constitution. So MAGA, which one is it? Which one is it? Now you get to decide. All right, Sharon.
Yeah, and make up your mind quick because you're absolutely right. This isn't an experiment. It's a proof positive that this thing called democracy, it's up here, it's a belief, it's this ideal. And the minute we abandon this and allow Trump as he pushes and pushes and pushes and co-president Musk, it's over. Like this is a constitutional crisis because the courts, this is the last stance. And then what? Wow.
Yeah, and Sharon, let me just two quick things about that. And then what is the abyss? There is no way of getting it back if the executive stops listening to the courts. Because what do? Oh, well, you didn't listen to Congress. Congress told you to spend the money on that or don't spend the money on that. Well, how do you adjudicate that? You go to the courts. Well, you're not listening to the courts. Oh, that makes you king. There's literally no one who could stop you. Congress can't stop you and the courts can't stop you. And all the laws mean nothing. That's it, that's a dictatorship. Full stop, full stop. There is no democracy where the executive branch doesn't listen to the courts. By the way, again, on the fairness issue, this is why I went nuts when Obama was in charge and he said, oh, we don't have to check with the judiciary to murder American citizens abroad because I called that guy a terrorist. I didn't have any evidence. I didn't state any evidence. I didn't go to the courts. I didn't get a warrant. I didn't get anything. I just murdered him. By the way, later his son and his daughter, American citizens all, in 3 separate incidents. Oh, golly gee, just trust me. No, Eric Holder and Barack Obama were despicable when they did that. And every Democrat who said, oh, it's okay, they're the good guys, you were 100% wrong and you enabled this kind of grotesquerie. And now Trump comes in and goes, oh, is that door slightly open? Let me totally open it. And then guys, once you agree to that, you can't fight back. Because what if they then jail you? Well, I'm gonna go to the court. Oh, right, he's not listening to the courts. And you think they're just gonna stop at left-wing critics or independent critics or media critics? It looks, and you're gonna see it later in the program, Elon Musk catches feelings over the slightest thing. You do a tiny criticism of him, and he said today that the 60 Minutes reporters should be in prison. Over the weekend, Tom Hoban talked about how AOC should be in prison. Who else are we putting in prison? Which other media critics, which other politicians? So MAGA, again, Trump and Musk have stated their intention. Ha ha, we're kidding, but we'd love a dictatorship. Now MAGA has to decide, are you on board for that? And are you going to enable that? Or are you going to get him to do his goddamn job, the thing you elected him for? Control the border, get inflation down, serve the average American, and you're supposed to be, he's already forgotten these two giant things. You're supposed to be anti-war and not pushing to help Israel do more war in Gaza and the Middle East. And you're supposed to be anti-corruption, not gimme, gimme, gimme. And if anybody criticizes, we fire, 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 and imprison. It's disgusting. So, okay, they came out of the gate so fast and so authoritarian. And so the response has to be equally quick. We need allies here. We need American citizens who actually care about the country and are not blinded by their partisanship, whether it's Democrat or Republican. And if we can't muster that, and then it's just the left screaming at them, they'll do it. And then right wing, be careful what you wish for. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.